All right. Hey, Honors Chemistry. So today I wanted to invite you into my kitchen and talk about a skill that Mr. T has finessed over the years, and it is the art of grilled cheese making. Today I'm going to talk you through how you could make the best grilled cheese at home, and we're going to connect this to a bit of chemistry. So to start, we need some very simple ingredients or simple parts to our, let's call it a chemical reaction. We are going to need 2 slices of white bread. I like to use white bread. So I got 2 slices of white bread, 2 tablespoons of butter, and then I like cheese, so I use 3 slices of cheese. And I put all of them together in a plate, and you can do the same thing. Now, one of the most important things in your grilled cheese making is your frying pan and how much heat you are using with your frying pan. Now, for years, and it has taken me several years to figure this out, but low heat is the best way to go. If you have too much heat, you're going to make a bad grilled cheese, let me tell you that right now. If you're in a hurry and you want to make a grilled cheese, you're going to make a bad grilled cheese, let me tell you that right now. The best way to make a grilled cheese is low heat and taking your time. I've already made a grilled cheese and we're going to skip some things, but as we're going to be waiting for some things to happen, I will be doing a little bit of chemistry on the side. So we're going to get started. First, you're going to take a tablespoon of your butter. You're going to cut that in half. So I cut my tablespoon in half. I'm going to put it and let it slowly melt in the pan. And I don't know if you can see my motions here, and I'll bring the camera over. You got to make sure that that butter melts, does not brown, but melts slightly around the pan. Let me bring you over so you can see that, right? So making sure that that butter melts, but don't make sure it doesn't brown, okay? Bringing you back. All right, then you're going to take your 2 slices of bread and you're going to put them, and I like to put them kind of like centered around the melted butter. So I bring the butter and put it in the middle, and I put the bread right on top of that. And you're going to brown the bread a little bit, right? I'm going to bring the camera over so you can see this, right? You're going to brown the bread a little bit. You're not going to burn the butter, right? You could touch it a little bit. If you're not, you could use a little spatula. Just make sure you have that in the butter. And I have very low heat here. So if you could see, I have that setting to about 2. You never want it to be higher than 2. And so I have it in here. And I'm going to allow this to brown a little bit. And this is actually a very slow step here. And that's okay. As that's happening, we're going to talk about what's going on here. So I'm going to be using 2 slices of bread. And I represent them with this little shade of color here. I'll actually move you a little bit closer. All right, and then I'm using 2 tablespoons of butter. I represent butter as like a square slice in half because we cut them in half. 3 slices of cheese because I like a lot of cheese. And then a little bit of heat, and I make a grilled cheese. So this is very similar to what you might see in chemistry as known as a chemical equation. 2 slices of bread plus 2 butters plus 3 cheese yields or makes 1 grilled cheese. We're going to do that. If I make 2 grilled cheeses, which I am today, how much bread am I going to need? Think about that, and we'll go back to this later, right? This makes 1 grilled cheese, 2 slices of bread, 2 tablespoons of butter, 3 slices of cheese gives me 1 grilled cheese. If I want to make 2 grilled cheese, how much bread am I going to need? If I want to make 2 grilled cheeses, how much butter am I going to need? If I want to make 2 grilled cheeses, how much cheese am I going to need? How many slices of cheese? Answering these questions are going to be beautifully analogous to answering questions in a topic in chemistry we call stoichiometry. So I'm getting you a little bit there right now, but we're just going to focus on what we have here with grilled cheese. So like if you were in the kitchen right now and you wanted to make 2 grilled cheeses, what would I have to do to my recipe or the things involved in my reaction? So I'm going to move this back a little bit. I'm going to check our bread a little bit and see how it's doing. This is usually our slow step here, is browning a bit of the bread. Now the thing is, no, it's not ready yet. The thing is, you want to take your time. The biggest mistake that people make is they're in a hurry. They turn up the heat really high, and then they burn the butter, and the bread is like dark, and you don't want that. Eventually, your product is going to look something as beautiful as this. We're going to be aiming to make this beautiful, gorgeous. Look at how melted that cheese is. We're going to look and make this beautiful grilled cheese. Okay? All right. As we're still waiting for this to brown, I'm I'm going to ask us some other questions, still related to chemistry, but focusing more on this grilled cheese. Okay? So, if I had any of these bullet points, how many grilled cheeses can I make? On the other side of this board, I knew I needed 2 slices of bread, 2 tablespoons of butter, and 3 slices of cheese, and that makes 1 grilled cheese. If I had 8 slices of cheese and I assumed I had every other ingredient, how many grilled cheeses can I make from 8 slices of cheese? Let me actually change this number because this is from last night. Let's not make it 8, let's make it 9. Maybe that'll make more sense. If I had 9 slices of cheese, how many grilled cheeses can I make? Well, if I go back to my reaction here, or if I go back to my recipe, I need 3 slices of cheese for my grilled cheese. If I have 9 slices of cheese and I assume I have all other ingredients, let me write that down, right? Because that's not really written in the question, but it's going to how it's going to be asked. Assuming you have enough of the others. Assume you have enough of other ingredients. If I had 9 slices of cheese, and I assumed I had enough bread, enough butter, 9 slices of cheese is probably going to give me 3 grilled cheeses. I'm going to call them GCs. Right? Because 3 slices of cheese gives me 1 grilled cheese. 9 slices is 3 times as many, so I can make 3 grilled cheese. If I had 6 slices of bread, and 2 slices of bread gives me 1 grilled cheese, I'm probably going to be able to make 3 grilled cheese from this. Now, what if I only had 1 tablespoon of butter? How many grilled cheeses can I really make if I have 1 tablespoon of butter? Well, I need 2 tablespoons of butter for 1 grilled cheese. If I have 1 tablespoon of butter, I could barely make half a grilled cheese. So I want you to think about these relationships and these analogies when we start talking about chemical reactions, because we could do the same thing for the art of making grilled cheese. So now let's go back to our grilled cheese. I'm sure the bread is now browned, and I'm going to continue forward with the rest of this. Okay, putting this back. Let's look at our bread and see if it's browned, because we're going to do something with it. Yeah. All right, I'm going to take this bread. I like to put the bread in a separate plate, and I'm going to bring the camera over so you could see it. Okay. So bringing this over, you might have been able to see it, but you want that bread to be lightly brown. Don't burn it. Don't do anything. And what you're going to do now is on the toasted side, you're going to put the cheese on the inside, right? So this is a trick that people maybe not really realize or know. You're going to be toasting both sides eventually. And I like to rip up the cheese a little bit. You know, if you split up the cheese a bit, it makes it easier to melt. Okay? And you're going to fold this into itself. Right? So now this is going to be the beginning of my grilled cheese, right? You're going to have the cheese. I'm going to fix this a little bit. You're going to put this and fold it into itself. And then you're going to take your other tablespoon of butter. You're going to cut that in half. You're only going to use half of it right now. You're going to put that in the pan. And you're going to make sure that that melts. And guess what you're going to do with this butter? You're going to make sure it spreads around. And you're going to put it right there. And then I like to take this sandwich and put it right there on the center of the butter. And now I got to wait for this to brown. And what you're going to do then, and I'm going to describe this and then end this video. What you're going to do then is you're going to allow that side to butter. It's going to heat. It's going to transfer that heat into the sandwich. Some of the cheese may melt. Then you're going to take the other tablespoon of butter, put it into the pan, and have that flip over the sandwich, right? So what I like to do is I like to take the sandwich out, put the butter in again, move it around, then flip over the sandwich and toast the other side. And if you do that, you're going to get your beautiful grilled cheese that I made earlier. And that is the art of grilled cheese making. You only use 2 tablespoons of butter, 2 slices of bread, and you could change how much cheese you use. If you only have 1 slice of cheese, that's your grilled cheese, that's fine. I like it cheesy, so I use like 3 slices of cheese. And that is how Mr. T makes the best grilled cheese.